What is up, guys? It's the Football Fanatic here. Today I'm going to talk about the top 5 centers in the NHL this season. As you know, there are a lot of centers in the NHL, being that there are 4 lines, each one has a center, and so therefore you get a lot of points from a lot of players, but we can narrow it down to like a pretty narrow margin of centers who are on a different level compared to the other guys. For honorable mentions, the list is massive. There's people, I'll just name some right now. There's people like Jason Spezza, Tyler Seguin, Joe Pavelski, Jeff Carter, Leon Draisaitl, and many more, many more that are on that next level. It's just they're not in the top 5 in my opinion. So let's get right into these. With number 5, I have Mikael Granlund. He is a center for the Minnesota Wild. He's pretty young and upcoming, but he's really made a big step this year with the Wild playing so well, and that line that he's on, I don't know what it is, but he is producing almost to the point where he's doing a point per game as a pretty young player. His stats read 58 games played, 17 goals, 36 assists, so between those he's got 53 points. He's just 5 points off from a point per game. He's been pretty consistent as of late, along with Mikko Koivu. Those two have been really good. And then his plus minus, because he's playing on Minnesota, he's got a 31, which is almost league leading. 6 penalty minutes, really good in that area. Not for fantasy, but as a player, really good there. 4 power play goals and 2 shorthanded goals with 125 shots on goal. So he's a pretty good overall player. He's got all the things. Not high on penalty minutes. You don't want a person who's high on penalty minutes unless they're the enforcer. He's active on the power play. He's got 2 short-handed goals. That's the stats that I'm reading. Like, no centers basically have any short-handed goals. But he's been really good for Minnesota. Like I said, he's been on a pretty nice point streak. He's had some game breaks in there, but it seems, I think he's on a 3-game point streak. In his last game, he scored a goal and gave an assist. And he's rolling with the Minnesota Wild. So on to number 4, where we have Nicklas Backstrom, the co-man to Mr. Alexander Ovechkin. And this might explain why he has so many assists. He's played 57 games, 17 goals, 44 assists with 61 points. He's above a point per game. That's pretty good. He's kind of a quiet guy. If you don't follow the Capitals, you don't really hear too much about him because Ovechkin takes away that attention. But he's got 16 plus minus, 28 penalty minutes, 4 power play goals, 0 shorthanded, and 106 shots. Out of all the centers I have on my list, he has the least amount of shots, but he's got the same amount of goals as Granlund. He's the assist master. He's like Joe Thornton back in the day, and even now. He's very good at getting the puck to people. He's a good leader. He wins games. I mean, both of these teams, Minnesota and the Washington Capitals, I think Capitals are the best team in the Eastern Conference. Minnesota's the best team in the Western Conference. They're on good teams, but they're really contributing to these teams as well. And now for the last 3, which I'm sure you could probably guess right now who it is. There's one guy who, of course, is going to be on there. There's another who is, of course, going to be on there. The third one, I don't know. You'll see. So yeah, number 3 is going to be a Pittsburgh Penguin by the name of Evgeni Malkin. Malkin's really good. At times this season, I thought he was better than Sidney Crosby. He's played 50 games, 24 goals, 35 assists, with 59 points total. So just off of that stat, he's played 7 less games than Backstrom, and he's 2 points away from passing him. And he's already passed Granlund, who's played 8 more. He's got 15 plus minus 62 penalty minutes. Great for fantasy, but yeah, he's penalized a lot. 8 power play goals, that's big. 0 shorthanded, and 156 shots on goal. He's a very good center. I know he's had the injury, that's why he's got less games played. But I find him to be really, really good, and he's on a very good team. So on to McDavid, who is number 2. Many of you probably are like, no, McDavid's the best player in the league. Well, at this moment, he's not. There's only one guy beating him out. Of course, you can guess that's Sidney Crosby. But, sorry, McDavid has 59 games played. He's got 67 points in total, so he's leading the league in points. In those points, it's 47 assists and 20 goals. He's got a 21 plus minus, a 22 penalty minutes, 2 power play goals, 0 shorthanded goals, 173 shots on goal. He's leading in these shots on goal. He is very good. If you ever watch him play, he's, I would say, no doubt the fastest player in the league. And he's just really good with the puck. He makes plays. If you're playing against him, if your favorite team's playing against him, you're worried. Every time he's on the ice, he's like making stuff happen. He is a very, very good player, and I think in upcoming years he will definitely pass Sidney Crosby for the top spot. He might even be breaking records that no one has broken in years because of the amount of points he's gotten. And he's only 19 years old, or 18. I don't remember. I think it's 19. But yeah, he's a very, very good player. He deserves to be number 2, but not number 1, because Crosby is way too good. I personally don't like Crosby a lot, but how can you diss him for his talents because he's just so good? He's played 51 games. Keep that number in mind. 51 compared to McDavid's 59. He's got 31 goals, 33 assists, combining for 64 points. That's 3 points off of Connor McDavid. And he's played 8 less games. There's no doubt that by the end of the season, he's going to pass him for the most points. Unless McDavid steps it up and starts getting 3 points per game or something. Crosby's plus minus is 18, 16 penalty minutes. Probably, I don't know, but he's got 10 power play goals. That might be league leading. 168 shots on goal. He's good. He's been good year after year. He won the Stanley Cup last year. He makes crazy plays. I know this year he has made a lot of puck batting plays into the net. The puck's flying up in the air, and then he'll hit it, and it'll go in. But overall, he's the best player in the entire league, I believe. I don't think there's one person who could beat him out for that. He's amazing. I'm sure most of you agree that Crosby at this moment is the best player in the league and the best center overall. Like I said, honorable mentions, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, let me know what you think of the top 5 centers in the NHL. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.